Good morning, everyone. This is Sandeep Kumar Sahu. Welcome back to our online class of fire and making. This is the third part of our lecture 6. That means physico-chemical principles of iron ore reduction. We have studied about the reaction of iron ores, reduction of iron ores. All we have studied was about carbothermic reduction of iron ore. That means by carbon monoxide. But in some cases, for example, during some blast additives like steam injection or auxiliary fuel injection through the tubes, hydrogen may come into play for reduction inside a blast furnace. Okay, so let's compare the reduction of hydrogen with the carbothermic reduction of iron ore. So for this, first we will compare the iron oxygen carbon and iron oxygen hydrogen phase stability diagrams. Then after we will study about some kinetics of iron ore reduction and then reduction patterns shown in the iron ores during the course of reduction. So first, iron oxygen carbon and iron oxygen hydrogen phase stability diagrams. Okay, in this figure, this is a very familiar figure. We have seen it earlier. In this figure, the S line, that means the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide line, is in the shape of S. Okay, we know that Bourdieu reaction governs this line. Bourdieu reaction means carbon dioxide plus carbon gives rise to two carbon monoxides. Okay, this line is governed by this Bourdieu reaction. And also we know that with increasing temperature, carbon monoxide is stable. Okay, as we go for increasing the temperature is in x-axis, or if we go for right side, then this curve goes towards the upper part and joins the 100% line beyond 900 or 1000 degrees centigrade. It is about 100%. Okay, and what about the pressure? If you go for increasing the pressure, the Bourdieu reaction goes in the backward direction. That means 2CO gives rise to carbon dioxide plus carbon, which is also called as carbon deposition reaction. Okay, if we go for representing this effect, that means the increase of pressure, then how can we show it? What will happen to that S curve? Okay, this pink line, this middle line, the pink line is the 1 atmospheric line. If we go for increasing the pressure, this is the 2 atmospheric line, then it goes to the right. If we go for decreasing the pressure, 0.5 atmospheric pressure, then the line goes to the left. Okay, so what does it mean actually? If we compare these lines, if we go for a vertical line in the to the temperature zone, let it be 500 degrees centigrade, then we can see that at lower pressure, that means at 0.5 atm at atmospheric pressure, the amount of CO is much more higher than that of the 1 atmospheric pressure or 2 atmospheric pressure also. That means why does this happen? We know that this reaction, the carbon dioxide plus carbon gives rise to 2 carbon monoxide. Okay, the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide both are gases. So that means 1 mole of CO2 is forming 2 moles of carbon monoxide. So if we go for increasing the pressure, then this reaction goes towards the left. That means the carbon dioxide part increases. Okay, the volume fraction of carbon dioxide increases. Okay. That means at a particular temperature, the fraction of carbon dioxide increases with increasing the pressure. Okay. Another observation we can make from this diagram that magnetite to woostite reduction reaction is endothermic in nature. Magnetite to woostite. Sorry, this is FeO actually. Okay, FeO. So this line is endothermic in nature and has a negative slope, goes towards the downward. Goes towards down. Okay. Whereas woostite to iron reduction line is exothermic in nature and has a the equilibrium line has a positive slope. Okay, this line has a positive slope. That means when it starts, that means the starting point of FeO, that is about 572 degrees centigrade. Okay, the nose of this area, FeO area. This is the FeO area, FeO. Okay, this is FeO. So the area is widened. That means with respect to temperature, the FeO is more and more stable. Okay. Here in this plot, iron, oxygen, carbon, and iron, oxygen, hydrogen. Okay. Hydrogen line, the red line, the dotted line, dashed line is your hydrogen lines. Okay, reduction by hydrogen. Okay, all the reactions are taking place with respect to hydrogen. Okay. When we compare these two, what can we see? It is evident that all lines have downward slopes. Unlike the carbon monoxide reduction lines, in case of FeO to Fe reduction line, this has positive slope, but in case of hydrogen line, it has negative slope. Okay, and these two lines, FeO to Fe line, equilibrium line, intersects at about 821 degree centigrade. 821 degree centigrade. Okay. If we talk about the efficiency, both have about 33% efficiency. What is the efficiency? If we draw a line to the y-axis, then it is about 67% CO or H2. Both are same because these are intersecting each other. So at 67% is there. That means 67% of H2 and 67% CO are with equilibrium with these lines. Okay, with these compositions. Okay, so the remaining, that means the 33% is utilized for your reduction. So the efficiency is 33% at this point, intersection point. But beyond that, as the temperature increases, H2 is more and more effective than that of the carbon monoxide. Okay, but it is endothermic in nature. So what does it signify? So some amount of heat it absorbs, or some amount of heat we have to supply for reduction of this iron ore by hydrogen. Next we will see about the kinetics of iron ore reduction. Okay, so we have studied about some iron ore reduction by carbon monoxide, carbothermal reduction, or by hydrogen. Okay, let's have a look on their kinetics. The general features of kinetics and the mechanism of iron ore reduction by CO and H2 are similar. So we will discuss them together. But there is an important difference, that reduction by hydrogen is about 5 to 10 times faster than CO. Okay, so we can say that hydrogen is a better reductant than that of the carbon monoxide, but it is endothermic in nature. Okay. Anyhow, if we go for the relative volume per unit mass of iron, that means one mass of iron, if we go for relative volume analysis, then it will be giving 1 is to 1.79 is to 2.08 is to 2.14. That means FeO with comparison to iron, FeO will be 1.79 times volume. The volume comparison, it will be 1.79 times. In case of Fe2O3, Fe3O4, it will be 2 times about, and in case of Fe2O3, that will be 2.14 times. That means the volume goes on increasing. Okay, from this we can say that hematite is more reducible than magnetite due to additional porosity development during the course of reduction. Okay, we have discussed earlier about the reducibility of iron ore. That means the dF0 by dt. This is the reducibility. Okay, and what is F0? F0 is the degree of reduction. Degree of reduction. This is the curve. We have seen this curve earlier. Okay, so degree of reduction F0. Okay, F0 is the degree of reduction. What is degree of reduction actually? Which is a ratio of loss of mass of ore due to removal of oxygen to the total mass of removable oxygen in that ore. That means the oxygen removed to removable oxygen. That is your degree of reduction. Okay. So from this we can calculate the reducibility, and from this volume comparison we can say that hematite is more reducible than magnetite due to formation of pores or increase in volume. Okay. So that hematite is more reducible. Okay. So now we will see about some kinetic steps for the reduction of FeO. Okay, reduction of FeO. And the typical pattern is shown here. Okay, the FeO is there. Okay, FeO is there. And the first step is your transfer of reactant gases across the gas boundary to the solid surface. Which gas? That may be carbon monoxide or H2 as per the reduction. If we go for carbothermal reduction, then it will be carbon monoxide. If we are talking about hydrogen, then it will be hydrogen. Okay, it's transfer to the solid surface. Solid surface means the FeO. Okay. Second step, inward diffusion of respective reactant gases through the pores of solid. That means pores of the solid means the pores of the FeO. So we have assumed that the iron ore is porous in nature, so that it has some pores and the reducing gas, that may be CO or H2, will diffuse into it. Okay. Third one, chemical reaction. That means in case of carbothermal reduction, that will be FeO plus CO gives rise to Fe plus CO2, or in case of hydrogen, that will be with hydrogen to form steam. This one. Okay. So either or, in which case we are talking about, that will be the reaction. Okay. So the third point is your chemical reaction. Fourth one, the outward diffusion of product gas. That means either CO2 in case of carbothermal reduction, or H2O. That means the steam in case of reduction by hydrogen. It's outward diffusion. Fourth step. Okay. And the last one, transfer of these product gases, okay, from the solid surface into the bulk gas across the boundary layer, gas boundary. Okay. So through this gas boundary, it will go to the bulk phase. Okay. It will go to the bulk phase. So this one. Okay. It will go to the bulk phase. Carbon dioxide or H2O. Okay. So all these steps. Okay. All these steps collectively responsible for your reduction of iron ore. So what is your objective? As the objective of our kinetic study is to find out the rate controlling step, that means the slowest one, okay, among these steps. Okay, so that we can increase the rate of reaction by controlling that step. Okay, but various investigations reveal that all these steps are comparable. That means, or in other words, we can say that all of them have to be considered as partially rate controlling steps, and the overall rate would depend on various factors like the temperature, the gas composition, size of the particle, and the nature of the particle. So nature of the particle means in terms of its structure, okay, or its composition, gang composition, porosity, all these things. So all has to be considered for the reduction kinetics. Next, some reduction patterns depending upon the situation of the reduction. Different patterns of the ore, okay, are there. Generally, we have considered three patterns. Okay, we have classified into three parts. One is your uniform internal reduction. What is that? When the diffusion through the pores, is higher than the chemical reaction rate, that is CR. We have taken short form. Okay, diffusion through the pores is higher than that of the chemical reaction rate. Then the uniform internal reduction will take place. So uniform internal reduction will take place, and discrete effluence will be there in the material, the ore, or the reduced ore. So what are the conditions for this uniform internal reduction? Generally, practically, the smaller the particles, it will happen, or at lower temperature where the reduction rate or the reduction is slower, and with a higher porosity, this type of internal reduction can be seen. Okay. And the second one is your topochemical reduction with sharp interface. When does it happen? When the above condition is reversed. That means diffusion through pores is slower than the chemical reaction rate. So topochemical reduction with sharp interface will be seen. So this type of structure we will see. Where do we see this type of structure? When the particle is large enough, okay, or the temperature is high enough, or the porosity is less. Okay, so topochemical reduction with a sharp interface is generally seen. Okay, and third one, topochemical reduction with a diffused interface. When chemical reaction rate is comparable with pore diffusion, that means both the cases are comparable to each other, then the interface will be diffused. Okay, so this is wrong. Topochemical reduction with diffused interface. Okay, diffused interface. Okay, the interface will not be sharp like the topochemical reduction. Okay, but it is a diffused interface where the surface of FeO and the surface of metallic iron we cannot decide like a layer. Okay, it is a area or a range where we can find all these things. Okay, when you talk about a blast furnace, okay, temperature is lower at the stack region. Okay, upper stack. Okay, upper stack region the temperature is lower. Okay, that means at that point Fe2O3 to Fe3O4 or Fe2O3 to Fe3O4, hematite to magnetite, magnetite to woostite. These reactions are taking place step by step. Okay, so the pattern is basically internal reduction type. Okay, at the top of the stack. But when we go downward, the temperature increases. Okay, and the temperature increases where the FeO and Fe are in equilibrium. So the FeO reduction to Fe is basically a topochemical type with a diffused interface. Okay, with a diffused interface. Okay. Overall, we can conclude that iron ore reduction kinetics is complex enough because its conditions are generally varying point to point. Okay, boron undergoes changes at each and every point of the blast furnace. Like different part of the furnace, the temperature varies, and also the gas composition varies. The composition of CO by CO2 ratio will be changing at each and every point of blast furnace. Okay, and also when the burden is moving down, the load on the burden is increasing. The overlying burden applies a compressive stress on that one. So the different conditions are there for a particle during the course of reduction. So the overall kinetics is complex enough inside a blast furnace. So this is all about today's class. Okay. If anyone has any doubt, they can ask. Thank you all.